Hey everyone, so I've been working on an AI powered suite of tools, and one of the things that I've been doing is creating a easier citation building process because citations are a really long and painstaking manual process. Basically, you have to go to a website like this, brownbook.net, and you have to log in and you have to add the business and claim the listing. Most of the times these are free. I would only really recommend doing the free ones. And a lot of times these have really long, lengthy forms like this one does, which require a lot of information. The information that I'll be adding to the forms is in here. I don't worry, I'll change all the credentials and stuff, so this won't be valid after this video. But what the process looks like is you have to go to the sign in, and you have to add your email. That one's ready. That one's correct. I'm just gonna do that. Log in, and then you have to go to the business forum. You have to claim that you're not a robot, and then you have to submit it. So once again, you have to copy and paste this stuff. So it'd be like copy here. You'd probably have an Excel sheet that you'd have all this stuff in if you were doing this normally, but then you'd have to find the form, and then you'd have to, add the number in, and then you'd have to add the address in. And so you can see that it's taking a long time to do all that stuff. You have to add in the city, so we'll take the address off there and put the city in here. So once again, that took a long time just to do those simple forms. So I'm going to make this a little bit more automated and a lot more elegant. So we're going to take all this information and automatically fill it into different form types based on the criteria of the form. And this is all done with Python, Selenium, AI, etc. So you can see all this stuff here. This is a not optimized script, so I have to go through and refactor and optimize the script. But you can see it's using the Open Router base for the API, and it's using Gemini Flash, since Gemini is like the best group of languages to use for SEO kind of oriented stuff at the moment. So we're going to go to the program and we're going to run it. And I'm going to make sure I grab the right URL. I believe I did, but I'm just going to double check. And we're going to go here. So it's going to open up the listing. And so right now I can control, it's basically a hybrid. Like AI becomes an extension of your browser experience in this sense. It's not an operator. It's not an agent operator. It's a mix of agent and user operator, which is really handy and I think, in my opinion, much more reliable. So we're going to go and basically what's happening is you're going to log in, or you're going to go to a website to log in, and it's going to detect the forms. So it detects the forms, but we don't care about this form since we have no information for it. We want to go to the login form, and we're going to ask it to refresh the form detection. And it's going to say, hey, there's a login form on option 2, and the login form detected, and those are the credentials, and it's going to fill the form. And you're going to say, yep, that's perfect. Once again, obviously, you could use something like LastPass or another login vault, but this is a all-in-one AI solution for like the majority of situations. It's not a specific thing, and you don't have to save your information to your login pass or have some kind of fancy subscription or anything else. So I'm going to go to the field with the business form, and I'm going to ask it to detect the forms on that page, and it's going to say, hey, there's the business form, which is this one, of course. And I'm going to say, I want all this information, this messy bunch of information here that's not organized at all, to be added to where it sees fit in the program. So I'm going to say, please select business form. And then it's going to select all the fields. Python is going to scrape that and send it to AI. AI is going to say, hey, I know this much about the client, and I should put these details in those fields. And once again, this is my email, not the client's email, but like I never gave it the client's email, so I never told it it wasn't. So it's doing what it thinks is right, and in this case, it is right. So that's fine. It also knows. It's kind of, I like it because I have the name as Avera, right? But it's actually longer than that. It's Avera Landscaping. It's actually Avera Landscaping Property, something else, blah blah blah. But it's not just Avera. So the business name, it knows, since I have the LinkedIn and the company is Avera Landscaping, it knows actually to use Avera Landscaping and not just the name Avera. Which is really handy. And that's how you could tell, or one of the ways you could tell that it's actually AI doing the form filling or doing the fields for the form fill and not just Python. Because remember, Python is just scraping the fields and sending those fields to AI. AI is going, there's what I know, sending it back to Python. So it's agentic and it's dynamic and it's calling tools and sending it back and forth. So I'm going to say, yep, that looks good, like good information to me. I'm going to fill the form, and it's going to fill in what it knows to be validated information, and it's going to do all that successfully. And then you can see it even for like Twitter, Facebook, all that, because it knows all this kind of stuff is where it should be. And then you're done. Basically, there's some things on this form that are interesting, like the country field is unnamed, and it's a drop down. So I'm assuming they did that to trip up bots. And this is one of the reasons why I used a AI-powered Python script instead of something like a bot, because bots are unreliable and easily detected. So they can have like honeypot forms or reCAPTCHA forms on here, and it'll trip up security on the bots, and they won't be able to get past it. AI is different because AI is just doing what it's told, and Python is scraping that stuff. So it's looking at it more like a human-centric kind of method would, and then it fills everything out properly. So you can see it even filled the business name and the business address and the city. So those, like, this is all stuff that I had to tell AI was different, because before this is business address and this is business name. It got tripped up. It thought Avera Landscaping went here since it's business, right? Business. But one of those is different from the other. They're not the same thing. So that's why you got to switch it. This field is different because it's a drop-down select field. So basically how I would fill it out is like that. And once again, just because like filling out the form manually would have taken about that long to fill out each field, and it was able to do 90% of the whole form. And I can add all this stuff in, like website and blog and all that, and it would work. This is just the information that I gave available to it, or it's available to it as a test and proof of concept. So it's obviously working, and it's doing what it thinks it should, which is like correct. If we're gonna go, we could try even maybe detecting another login field. So if you go to Hot Frog, it's gonna get CAPTCHA on here, of course, because this is Selenium and I don't have any kind of stealth detection yet. But we should be able to switch that or bypass that manually. That might be stairs. Yeah, got it. So if you go to Hot Frog, this is another famous citation kind of website. We're going to log into there. We're just going to see if we can detect it. And there's no, it didn't detect. Maybe that's the one. I'm going to fill that. Oh, yeah. So it's not detecting all this kind of stuff, all the different forms. Oops. I'm going to skip this. All right. Let's see if we can. Oh, you know what? I bet it's because it might be detecting it on here. Let's see if I can get it to work. Refresh. Yeah, there's the login. So it detected the login because it was working on this tab, and we opened it up into a new tab. So I'm going to say, do that, and it's login form detected, and fill the form. I'm not going to hit enter because that's not the right credentials for this site, but you can see that it's working, and it fills out different forms and detects different forms. I'm still working on a lot of the functionality, but I'm going to be extending it as much as I can within my skill set. This is literally just within about 6 hours or 7 hours of work or so from yesterday. So it's already working and already reliable across different domains and sites. So if you like it, please click like and tell me what you think about it. And I'll be eventually, hopefully, adding this to GitHub once I get it a little bit more polished. Appreciate your time. Thanks.